Welcome to Light the Path, the podcast that brings you inspiring stories of courage, strength, and faith. Listen in as we explore how God's love and grace can inspire and motivate us to overcome life's challenges and light the path forward.
Hello, Pathfinders. Thank you so much for joining in for another episode of Light the Path podcast. I'm your host, Queen Co, and I am so delighted that you're here. Continue checking in. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate y'all as y'all are watching live. Y'all are commenting. So thank you so much. Make sure that if you're following on social media, that you also follow on YouTube. I would love for you to subscribe so that way, boom, turn the notifications on so that way every Tuesday you will be informed of when the next episode comes out. So the audio comes out at 6 a.m. on all audio platforms, and then the video version of the episode comes out at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So now that we got all the business taken care of, thank you so much. This episode, you're going to like this. This is navigating, what we're talking about today is navigating the single season. And so I had to bring reinforcements on. I had to bring my homegirl, Renesha, back to Light the Path podcast. You know her, renowned author, and she's navigating the single season. So she's here to help me talk about it. Welcome, Renesha, back to the show.
Thank you for having me. Yay.
You're welcome. I love you and I appreciate you for jumping right in. When I put the post out there, you were like, count me in. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look, so tell us, how are you doing navigating so far the single season?
I'm not doing what now, son. I'm doing I'm doing what I have to do. I've had this conversation with God a lot. So one thing is me coming out of dealing with illness is a little different than somebody else who has been like straight single for a long time. But I don't like being single, but it's not like I've always been in a relationship either. So I just, I'm at a point now where God is restoring and replacing some things in my life. And that's definitely on my list. And I talk to him a lot about it. So definitely something that, navigating, ready to get, kick-started. I'm ready for that.
Okay, because I wanted to have this conversation. So basically, this started with me having a conversation with myself, okay? Because I get to talking to myself a lot. And I got a glare on my glasses every time I look up. But I'm like, why am I single, okay? And so I listed all these things. And so one of the things that I came up with, one of the reasons why I'm single is because I'm not making dating a priority. So I want to extend that to you. Because you've had different challenges, now you're on the other side of it. Are you making dating a priority?
I'm so nervous. Listen, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm like, let me get cute. I'm going out. And then at the same time, I'm like, please don't talk to me. Do not come over here. Don't. That's why I said I gotta trust God in this season. Because if it's up to me, I'm gonna be talking with you again about this same thing because I'm nervous. And so I want to, like a part of me want to jump in, all in, and then a part of me is like, people crazy nowadays, and so I'm nervous. I'm nervous about trusting somebody into the next phase of my life because of what I've been through. So I'm a little skeptical, but I want it. So I've got to overcome that. So.
Okay. So do you know how to swim?
I don't.
Okay. So do you go to the pool?
I don't jump in the water. That part.
Look, you knew where I was going with this, right?
That part. That's why I hadn't jumped in the water yet. I mean,
Yes. And I agree with you. I have been single. I broke this down last episode, but officially single, like not attached, not texting, talking people for about, I guess 2 years now. Like no situationships, no, whatever. I just told myself, I said, I deserve better. I'm going to knock off all the craziness. I've had a lot of fun since being a divorcee. That
A lot of fun. Look.
And that's not even a status. Like, I'm single. I'm divorcee, but you single, girl.
Listen, I'm gonna tell the truth. I tried to drag my switch situationship into what I was going through when I was going through. And that didn't work. So, you know what I'm saying? It didn't work for me. It wasn't enough before, definitely wasn't enough during, and it's not even a possibility after. So,
Okay. Okay. And that makes sense. So let me ask you this then. So, since going through your health crisis and coming out on the other side of it, have you learned any new relationship skills that you could take to a possible relationship?
yes, because I had time to learn a lot about me. And that's not to say that I've perfected it, but I've learned like some of the triggers or some of the things that I've accepted before that I know I can't now. So as much as I don't want to be single and I'm like tired of being single, I still understand that my desire not to be single put me in a lot of situations that I was in before. And I'm not her anymore. So I can't, I can't operate underneath those same rules anymore.
That is so beautiful. And that's what I took from myself as well. I'm like, let me look at me and the relationship skill that I learned by not being in situationships, not doing all that, was learning to listen better. Because as I was going back thinking about different conversations, like they already told me without telling me,
Okay.
I ain't your husband.
Right.
Nobody
Right.
ain't never say that, but if I listened better,
Yes,
I wouldn't have, like
absolutely.
you, dragged along a situation long as I did. And so I'm a better listener now, which makes me a better communicator because I also have found out what I like opposed to listening to them to figure out, what they want, what hoop they want me to jump through, and then go find the hoop and do, I'm like,
Okay, hello somebody.
I'm
Hello
not
somebody. And
doing it.
that is so important in navigating through that is because I like a lot of times things that I knew I didn't like or things, even if I might have not had a problem with it at the beginning, I never said anything when it became an issue for me because I didn't want to be a problem, or I'll deal with that as long as I don't have to deal with this, or come up with all this stupid stuff that we come up with. And I'm older now, and like I said, I've been through what I've been through, and I'm going to enjoy my life like I expect the person I'm with to enjoy theirs. And so I'm not going to go out of my way to put them in situations where they're uncomfortable, and I'm not going to tolerate it from me. And that's something that I had to learn. I don't have to be uncomfortable or tolerate certain things to be with a person. I don't need that. But that was something that, I needed time with me to realize that was something that I did.
Yes, and I love how you're taking personal accountability for it because a lot of times, and because we're women, so we're talking from a woman's perspective. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we hear they're saying the guys this, the guys that, the guys. We got to put the mirror on ourselves, and I love how you're taking personal responsibility,
Oh,
accountable for
yes.
the things that you accepted. Because you could easily say, "Well, he did this, which made me do this," and this and this. So I think when we're doing that whole ping pong blaming each other, this has caused this unhealthy to me narrative that I see online. And
Yeah.
so it's like guys against girls and the guy and I'm like,
And
wait,
the
what?
reality of it is the things that people are arguing about realistically, are you looking for a mate or perfection? Because you're not perfect. So
Yeah.
I try to stay away from some of those. Some of them, some of them do draw me kind of in, but I try to stay away from them because as cruddy as the personalities or the characters of some of the people that I dealt with, I still dealt with them. And so it's no need of me to sit here and tell you everything they did bad. I still dealt with them. And it's not that I don't care about them, chop it up how you want to, but I'm worried about me, not anybody else. And so I have to start with me. And that's my goal, to start with me.
Absolutely. I think that's beautiful. And I think guys and girls can benefit from hearing that. And I think guys have an easier time doing it. I don't know if it's our nurturing ways
Probably
that we
so.
sort of want to lean into that whole,
Mm-hmm.
help out, all that stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
going into saying that you want to have a relationship, how do you feel your expectations are? Do you have realistic expectations, or do you think your expectations are unrealistic?
So I think I have realistic expectations. I think I have grown up expectations. Like I don't need you in my pocket calling me every 15 minutes or 10 minutes, but I want to hear from you.
Yes.
You ain't got to post about me on social media. I don't have to have that. But when we enter a room, everybody knows we together.
Okay.
You ain't got to overshare, but I'm not a secret. And so I
Yes.
understand the difference between that now. And so, I think I have realistic expectations. Now, is there some stuff I could probably, work on? Absolutely. But I'm working through my fleshy part. And so just like anybody else, I got some things that probably seem crazy or unrealistic to some other people. But to me, I'm like, how could you not, so.
Yeah, and I feel like your person is going to be able to rise to the occasion if they're not already there. That's going to be like a challenge, or they're going to take that as, okay, you know what? I'm a better person when I do X, Y, Z. So I feel like God is, going to give you the desires of your heart. And sometimes the desires of our heart ain't what God wants. Okay, let's just keep it
Listen,
clear.
so I had to be honest with God. So sometimes we tell God, well, that's a whole nother story, but we tell God what we want, and we tell him how we want to package and how he's supposed to get it to us. And so what I realized was, when looking for a mate, I never included anything about God into that. And so after you go to God after a whole bunch of heartbreaks and crying and stuff, and it's kind of like he's looking at you like, you ready for me? Or you still want to do this? Like, at what point, what I'm saying? Like, what point you willing to give control? So I'm going to be honest. So that's something that I work on, because it's like, okay, God, I gave it to you. Ain't gonna do nothing. Let me see, because you're not moving fast enough. And then, like I said, because I have this nervousness about it, even though I might feel like I'm taking it away, I ain't doing nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? So I am willing to wait on him, because I don't think I'm gonna have to be nervous, or it's gonna be as hard. I think I'll know when it's him. So.
Yeah,
And I'm not opposed to helping him, but I'm just saying he don't even help. But I'm just saying I'm not opposed to. Being honest.
Yes, he does not. He does not need our help. We got to let God be God, even with the timing part, right? Yes. So with me in my head, I'm like, okay, January 2024, I'm about to just jump in this dating pool. I'm about to just get it. I'm about to start going on dates and give my number out and insert the crickets. Insert crickets right now, because it was like, no. And so I'm taking that as God's protection, okay? Because at first I was a little salty. I'm like, for real?
Yeah, like, what's the problem?
I done all this work, like what? And so I take it as God's protection, so that way, maybe I'm not as ready as I think I am. Maybe I do need more time, and then maybe God is working. I'm being optimistic. I'm thinking the highest thought that God is working on my person. He still, got stuff to work out. So when he get with me, find me, then he will find favor with God.
I like that was a good one. I like that one. I like that one. But I guess it gets a little bit, you get a little, and I know we're not supposed to be anxious. So I don't want all my Christian friends to I know that. But I'm just saying, realistically speaking, when you've been single for a while and you're like, okay, now God, we done talked about this, but then to me, I mean, this might not be your case, but to me, it's like little tests to see, or I hear what you're saying, but are you? How you doing on this? What you gonna do? And I'm gonna be honest, a couple of them, I ain't do so well. So, maybe this is go study it again. Your next test is in such and such days. So I don't know. So I take all of that into consideration with this. I don't want to rush it either. But I don't use time as a way to judge whether it's too long or too short. I'm not going to do that either. So, but I'm ready. I'm ready, God. You heard? I heard you already, girl.
He like, I'm checking my list. I heard you. Go back to this test. But I like how you put that. I like how you put that. It could be another test that we did not successfully complete. And so, so we back. And it's not even where we started at, right? So there has been growth. There has been things. And even though you're nervous, I think that's a good thing. I mean, because if you're too confident, then, I mean, and this is for me, when I'm too confident, it's in me. When I have to solely say, you know what, God, if you don't do it, then it ain't gonna get done. And then boom, here you go, it's done. And it's like, okay, well, God wants to get the glory and the credit out of it. He doesn't want to say, well, Queen Cole, King, whoever, he found her, and they live happy ever. He he wants to get the glory, saying, you know what, God did this, God did it. And so I'm having realistic expectations that God is going to do it in his time. And that if he doesn't, because I've been married before, I have gratitude. So I'm like, thank you for what, being married. Thank you for my children. Thank you for my grandchildren. Because I wouldn't have that if that wasn't the case. And so if God doesn't allow me to get married again, I am still grateful. God is still good, even though I'm not married. So
when you were saying it, I got to thinking about it. And I was like, well, I ain't been married and I don't have no. But then I think, now this just for me now, so this not for everybody. I think during this process, though, what he was trying to get me to see, because I was okay with it when I said it just now, is the fullness of my life. And so anything else is going to be an addition. And I needed to be in a position to where I could understand that. So I'll put it like that. And so he knows I desire to be a wife, but if I am never a wife, I'm still happy. I'm good.
Okay, so that's good to know. So you do want to be married then? Okay, so
yes.
When people say, "Why
I don't want to be nobody's special friend in their obituary,"
I almost fell out this chair.
I'm sorry.
I don't. And I don't want my grandbabies to have no fake grandpa. I want them to they call me Lolly. And the whole reason why they call me Lolly, because one day I'm gonna have a pop and it's gonna be Lollipop. So I can't have no fake pop. So I'm with you. I do not want to be nobody's special friend.
Yeah, I don't want to be nobody's special friend.
I don't want to do it. So that's good. You do want to get married. Now, do you cringe when people ask you, why are you single?
That used to be such an offensive question to me. First of all, that's not your business. But second of all, I'm supposed to date myself. I mean, like, what you... Okay, so... Yeah, but that used to offend me. And so now when people ask me, I can say, well, I'm just now at a position to where I can even consider dating because the last 2 years, I just wasn't in a place where that was a priority. Now, why was I single before that? A lot of different reasons. I mean, my hands is not clean. So we will not talk about that. We're not going to talk about it. So, that's why I'm single now.
Okay. So that's real good. So,
but if you watching this and you ask a woman or a man that, stop it. If I want to engage in a conversation with you, I'll bring it up. That is a rude question.
And I think people, I'm going to think the highest thought. That's my thing. I try to think the highest thought. That they're like, Renesha, you're so beautiful and you're so creative and you're an author and you love God. Like, why are you still single? Like, I don't think people just be like, why are you single? I think they just be like, you're so good not to be single. I don't think it's from a rude place. I don't think
they're trying to be rude. I'm just saying the question is rude. I don't think
and it is rude because you know what? The only part that's rude to me is that looking at single like is less than being married. That's the rude part to me. Like,
but everybody is single before you get married. So I mean, I get it. Now, I've on both sides, I have like a pretty big family. So I get asking, or when you okay, but then once you ask that question to a person once, if you don't need to ask them again. If they you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I don't think the people are being rude. Like, I don't think anybody's being malicious. I'm just saying that the question, it's kind of like asking a newlywed couple why y'all don't have any kids, or when you're going, it's just certain questions are personal. You wait for a person to offer you that information. You don't go prying into their business. So
Yeah, and if y'all see me at a family function with somebody, and then the next one
mind your
somebody else,
business.
that part, mind your business.
Mind your business.
That was just a tryout. He didn't make it to the next occasion.
Matter of fact, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like what? I don't even know his name. So ultimately, what would you say the number one reason why you are single right now?
Really just basically being, I'm gonna say being nervous. I'm gonna say being nervous, because even like I said, even if I like hype myself up, that's it. That's as far as that's it. That's where it stops at. I'm hyped about it, but that's it.
Okay.
That's it, so.
Okay. I think for me, my number one is that I am not making dating a priority. And I'm saying that like I'm really working in my purpose. I'm really doing things that possibly I haven't done before. And I'm really engaging a single season. I'm not like, oh, woe is me. I'm just a wife in waiting.
Right.
I'm just sitting here not doing anything. I am being active. I am being busy. I am working on myself. I'm continuing
Focused.
continuing the relationship with God. And so when he's ready to introduce that, then I will do that. I mean, because it's not like I'm not gonna be like going places just to meet somebody. Like if I go to the golf course, that's a good place to go. But I like to golf, you know what I mean? So like I'm not really there like, oh, somebody come help me with my stuff. Like, no, I'm out there, with my cute stuff. I'm gonna be looking cute now. I'm gonna be
But
playing.
you said that, and I think that's a good point. And I guess that's something else I'm doing different. You're focused on you. So like now I'm not sitting home waiting to go out or waiting on somebody to, I'm really like investing my time in me, and I'm busy is the best word I can use. I'm busy. Now that doesn't mean, like God's gonna work all of that. I'm trusting him that at that time he's gonna work everything out. But definitely I'm a lot more engaged in me. So on top of being nervous, I'm really, engaged in me and not working on not being nervous, because I'm working on me. So that was a good point.
Well, Renesha, this has been a great conversation. I appreciate you. Let everybody know what's coming up next and where they can connect with you on social media.
Okay. My next project is called Journal to Wholeness, and it is a book about the 13 lessons that God taught me while I was going through chemo. Good stuff that I like to share with anybody. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be sick or have an illness. This book can benefit you. You can find it at payhip.com/Supreme Reads, and that's SUPREME Reads READS. Thank you. And the book is coming out April 24th.
Yes, I'm super excited. I am so proud of you. I can't wait to get it in my hands. I can't wait. I can't wait. The cover is beautiful. You're the cover.
I'm the cover. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And everybody remember that sharing our experiences is not only empowering, but it can also help light